If you're an Excel user and you were wondering whether you should learn Power BI in this year or not, in this video, I'm going to answer 3 critical questions. 1. Is Power BI relevant even today? Number 2. Why do we need Power BI when we have such smart AI tools available? And number 3. If you wanted to learn Power BI, how can you get started on that journey today? Even today, Power BI is treated as a visualization tool more than anything else. And most people pick up Power BI to be able to build nice visualizations and dashboards inside of it. And that is not wrong, by the way. The output of your work is going to be some kind of summarization, some kind of chart, some kind of dashboard, and that's all right. But unfortunately, companies are not looking forward for pretty and fancy charts. They instead want answers to the critical questions that move the needle in the business forward. So what is it that actually makes Power BI still relevant when you have so many AI tools available to be able to build your charts and dashboards? The single capability that makes Power BI relevant is data modeling. What do I mean by this term data modeling? It actually means 3 things. 1. The ability to connect to multiple unstructured, scattered data sources, organize them, clean them, consolidate them, and bring it together. That's part 1. Number 2. You have to embed business logic within those data structures so that you start calculating the numbers like the way how business sees it, not just randomly summing and averaging, any particular column. And number 3, the ability to connect all of these unstructured data sources in a form of a model so that one data set talks to the other and you get relevant answers to the questions that you're seeking. Let me give you 2 examples of this. Consider a very small company that is creating invoices for some work that they're doing for the clients. But the client never really pays against the invoice, they pay lump sum. So maybe they have generated 5 invoices and the client paid some amount of money, not necessarily against the invoice. Now the business owner is under this pressure. They want to find out that of all the invoices that I have generated and against the money that I have received, how many invoices are knocked off? Now, I'm not saying that AI cannot solve this problem, but Power BI can solve this in an automated way, in a far better and cheaper way and more reliable way than AI can. All we need to do to be able to build a data model is that we need to structure the data in such a way that our model connects to multiple places where the invoices are coming from. That's part 1. Then we need to connect to the bank statements where we are receiving the money from the clients, build up the business logic where we take the money, use the first in, first out method to start knocking off the invoices from the start date and take a look at how many invoices are knocked off. For the pending invoices, we take a total of how much money is pending and show that to the business owner. This architecture of connecting the data from multiple sources, bringing the business logic in and making data sets talk to one another is nothing but business modeling or data modeling inside of Power BI. Take a look at another slightly larger company, maybe a retail giant. And the retail giant is selling products and they have multiple ways of selling products. So they have primary sales, they have secondary sales, distributors selling it to the retailers, and then they have offtake data. That means actual customers walking in the stores and lifting the products off of the shelves. And then they have online sales as well, selling it on Amazon and other big, large online players. Now they want to be able to take a look at all of this data together, and unfortunately the data is not structured. Now when we are trying to build a model, we need to be able to collect the data from the distributors, collect the data from the retailers, collect our primary sales data. If there is any inventory data, we need to take a look at that as well, Amazon data, other online players data, put it together in a model so that all of these scattered silos data sets talk to one another, and then we can answer some business questions on top of that. That is nothing but building the model in Power BI before you build any sort of chart inside of Power BI. On these models that you build inside of Power BI, whether you decide that you want to build a fancy looking dashboard, a chart, or a report, or you decide that, hey, I want to query the model using the large language model and answer the questions in plain English, both of these techniques are going to work just as well. As a foundation, you need to have some structured model that can answer your question. You can't feed in multiple scattered data sets that the LLM doesn't even understand and expect to answer reliably on the questions that you're trying to answer for your business? So the answer to this question, that is Power BI still relevant today? The answer is a big yes. But most people are using it on a superficial level where they're just producing charts and fancy dashboards off of it that the business might not even need. Final thing, how can you learn Power BI in this year? Now, AI has made it ridiculously easy to be able to generate complex formulas and other things. What you need to spend time on are three things that I believe is going to differentiate you from other people out there. Number one, you have to be able to spend disproportionate time trying to understand what is the problem that you're trying to solve for. If you get some data and you start shoving the data inside of Power BI, start building charts, that is not the right approach. You have ample amount of data in the market with the consumer, with the business user, but you need to answer this question first. What is it that you're trying to solve for? You have to spend disproportionate amount of time to understand what is it that you're trying to solve for. Number two, once you've figured out what the problem is, then you need to be able to translate that business need into some sort of modeling architecture that Power BI holds, and then you're able to solve that particular problem inside of Power BI, which, by the way, requires you to have some understanding of Power Query, in case you're working with Power Query, to be able to aggregate the data, clean the data, because the data is not going to be clean in most scenarios, model it, build relationships, and write some sort of business logic using the DAX formula language. And finally, even if you kind of query the model using LLM or you build some simple charts and visualizations, the most important thing today is that a lot of people aren't validating what the model is spitting. So if you've taken help from AI and you've asked AI to write all of that code that you do not understand, the most important thing to do is validate your output. Is that output matching to what the business is asking for? Is it matching to what the data is saying or not? And that is super important. If you don't know how to plan the models in Power BI, this is exactly what I happen to teach in my DAX and data modeling course. We obviously start from scratch, teaching you what is the fact, what is dimension table, how do the relationships work, and carrying that same principle ahead, we go on to more complicated cases, and I actively show you how the planning of the model is done and how can you enforce thinking like star schema and shaping the data in a way that adheres to a scalable and much cleaner model. Then we go on to writing DAX and solving more harder and complicated problems. In case you're interested in learning DAX and data modeling in a structured way, I have a course. I'm going to put the link down below. I'll highly recommend that you please take a look at that. All right, that's been it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.